Welcome to Sober.Coffee, a weekly coffee chat sharing experience, strength, and hope for anyone on the sober road to recovery. You can download Sober.Coffee weekly on all podcast platforms and check us out on Instagram at Sober.Coffee Podcast and on Twitter at Sober.Coffee Pod. To learn more about us and to help support these sessions, visit online at Sober.Coffee. Here are your hosts, two guys on their own path to recovery, Mike and Glenn. Let's join them at the coffee shop.
G. What's up, brother, man? We've done a bunch of episodes. We have not missed a single episode since we launched.
A
drop.
Right.
Yeah, drop.
Right.
Sorry, man.
Sorry, that's
drop.
lingo.
Yeah.
That's podcast
we haven't
lingo.
missed a single drop since we started.
Yeah.
I mean,
Weekly.
that's 4.5 years.
Right.
I have not missed a single recording episode in 4.5 years. Not one.
Are you queuing me up? Are you not going to be here next week?
No, I'm just saying. It's
Just wanna
amazing.
know.
It's amazing because when I was drinking, I wouldn't show up to anything. I would make the best plans. My calendar looked awesome, and I went to about 1% of those events.
Speaking of scheduling,
Now I don't miss.
scheduling and calendar, and we're in the parking lot this morning. And welcome back, Ryan and Big Joe.
Yeah, our summer series.
Our summer series.
Thank you.
And I thought to myself,
That's going to roll into the fall.
as the cars rolled in to the parking lot, I'm like, how nice is it? Like, during my day job, we set a meeting. I got to run around like a little coach of a fifth grade soccer team,
Like a
reminding
babysitter.
everybody that there's a meeting. And then people are like, and then they don't show them, or they come in 10 minutes, I didn't know there was a meeting. You know what? I love AA people because when they say they're going to do something, they do it. The cars didn't roll in hot at 6 o'clock this morning.
We don't
they
miss.
They rolled in at 5:45.
We don't miss.
We don't miss. It's amazing. I wish the whole world would learn 12-step.
Speaking of missing,
accountability.
Yeah, right?
Speaking of missing, Brian just stepped out. So
I know. Our engineer left. It's like the bus driver just like leaving in the middle of the route.
But one thing I will say is, in our entirety of recording, we
Yeah.
have never edited one word.
No, we should have.
Yeah, we
But we
absolutely
did.
should have.
Well, I
Yes.
think, like, to your point earlier, is like, you should have sessions. They could be rated.
Yeah.
G, PG, R, X. I mean, I guess it all depends on the
Joe,
topic.
hey, Joe, we're going to talk about the 13th step, the next session, right?
Joe's dating himself. There's no X rating anymore.
Right, I guess I am dating myself. Well, there we go back to the age thing. All right.
That's
You're
the
the only
70s,
one
Joe.
that would date yourself.
Joe, that's the 70s.
All right, so we
Oh, here's Mikey getting
I
on the
know.
business.
Well,
we got to focus in. What's the agenda, Mikey?
We got it going last
Where's the
week.
sheets?
We heard the story.
Where's the
We heard-
PowerPoint?
We heard Ryan's story, but we also heard Hope and you referenced a lot last week, Ryan, about the community, the fellowship, if you will, whatever word you want to use. But it's just a great group of people to hang around with. And what do they say? The rising boat, boats rise in a rising tide, or all boats
Something
rise
like
in a
that,
rising
man.
tide.
You're almost there.
Something like that.
All right, so last week,
Yes.
Ryan started his story. It was great, right? Crashed into a cop car.
Okay.
Time
You
out.
see how you
Time out.
twisted
Time
that?
out.
It was.
You see how you twisted that?
That was
Hang on.
great. That's what I got out
Yeah.
of the story.
That's
Hang
what
on.
you heard. That's what I heard.
You beat the cop up.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
It's,
Wow.
Ryan's like, I tapped it. I didn't crash. I tapped it.
And I don't even remember if I
That's
did
a
that
good-
or not.
Right,
So
so-
That's a great
Yeah.
story
So
for
let's
the
just
room.
use the
So
word
I
crash.
crashed into a cop car.
I remember a lot better than you did. So then he talked about coming to 2 meetings, right? And then he stepped back for about 4 months, and he started coming in. He started connecting, right? We started that the 1 year. Then he jumped in and got in a chair and started to serve.
Which is really interesting because service carried me. A guy needed a ride, an old guy over when we were on 191st Street, young guy to the program, a little older than me, but he was having seizures, so the doctor wouldn't let him drive. So I said, I'll drive you. I said, so I get in the car, I pick him up the next morning, I go, so what meetings do you go to? He goes, every day, 7 a.m. I go, I guess I'm going every day.
Yeah.
But because he went to every day, because I committed to driving him, I spent 6 months going to not missing a 7 a.m. meeting because of him.
Right.
Which is great.
And
Service
that was great for your
service
program.
ended up
Excellent thrust
serving
upon
me.
you, man.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
Yep,
That's great. All right, so Ryan, you're in the room. You're at a year. You're starting to chair, right? You're starting to make some friends, right? Some connections. Starting to play golf sober, right?
Yeah, how was your game? sober?
Well, I can
bad.
answer that.
Yeah.
Was it bad when you were drunk?
It was horrendous. He was a better drinker than he was a golfer, but
it wasn't as fun sober either when I was bad.
Yeah, right.
No, it was not good.
How is it today after 11 years?
The same as 11 years ago.
Right,
actually.
not good.
Probably worse.
Right.
I golf less, and we'll talk about the good reasons why I golf less.
Yeah,
right.
So what are those reasons? So what happened, right? You're chairing,
Yeah.
then what happened? Paint a picture of the next couple of years.
Yeah.
Kind
You want me to
of.
go through every year of the 11 sequentially? I'm joking.
No,
I
that
will
would
go.
be painful.
I was thinking about doing a weekly, but if you want to do it, if you want to take shortcuts and do it by year, that's okay.
No,
It's all about shortcuts.
No, it's weird.
One day at a time.
You know how Joe asked this morning, how's it feel 11 years? And I'm like, the same. It really, I will be honest, the yesterday and today, it is hitting me more than it has in the past for good reasons, right? Like, I think it's because the calendars match up and I know what I was doing a year ago yesterday, a year ago today. I don't know what I'm doing a year, tomorrow, but I know whatever I'm doing tomorrow is better than what it was 11 years ago.
Right.
And I think that, like Glenn said, there's different things in your program that kind of that happen to keep you going, right? Like early in sobriety, I'm like, all right, I'm not really all in, but then once I got to that year mark, I got that coin. I'm like, all right, this is pretty cool, right? And then you start getting things back. Material things I think come along with it, but just like people start maybe trusting you a little more. They understand like your word means something again, kind of, right? They maybe like being around you again because you're not an asshole all the time. When you're not going to ruin something because you're drinking. Whatever. And I at the time I had a job coincidentally that I'm back at actually the company I was with when I started.
Really?
So when I was sober
Nice.
from 2014 to 2017, I was with this company, and now I'm back with that same company again.
That says something right there.
Oh, it's great. Yeah,
I mean,
they
people have you back.
they were great early in sobriety, and they're great now. It was a good company to be with in the beginning, and it's a good company to be back with now. But I think it was in 2016, so I wasn't quite 2 years sober. But a coworker at the company I'm with now, he said that his girlfriend had a roommate who just got out of a relationship, and would you be interested in in meeting her, not like dating, just meeting and whatever. And at the time I was like, yeah, I'm open to.
And you kind of passed that 1 year mark.
Yeah,
You're not supposed to get in relationships in 1 year, which is crazy.
Yeah,
anyway, right?
But I think I was ready, and then it sounds like she was ready too, right? So then we went on I wouldn't say a blind date, but we went on a date to.
You only know you're on a blind date if there's a dog.
There you go.
What? No, come on now.
There was not. And I took her to one of New Lenox finest, Chili's, and
Oh, you
Chili.
are
Nice, man.
high roller.
well,
slick.
yeah, oh
Hey,
yeah, it was
You were
casual.
stud.
You were
It was
dating
casual.
to impress.
Exactly,
I like that.
I was casual. Got appetizers too.
Ooh, big, all in.
But one date turned into two, turned into three, turned into four, and I don't want to downplay the importance of it, but it was so nice because when I met Haley, my wife now, she wasn't a drinker, and that's exactly what I needed, right? Like she was doing things that normal people do that we would only do drunk, right? Like going on trips, right? Going to Florida, going to California, going to ball games, going to waking up, right? Taking a shower, right? The things that we all thought were like, just drink, it just came along with drinking. She's like, you can do these things without drinking. And then when she did drink, it was like she'd have half a glass of wine and then leave it. And I'm just like, what are you doing?
Yeah, who does
finish
that?
Wonder of the
it.
world right there.
Finish
Right.
it.
How-
There's a
how
guy at a
do
bar,
you
he'll
do that?
finish it for you. But it was great. And then those things, meeting my wife, it's like things happen in phases, right? And I've heard in the room like God will only give you as much as you can handle, right? And sometimes I think you get more than you can handle. But it was that at that time, almost 2 years sober, that's when I was ready, right? And that's when I met my wife, and that's where she wasn't my wife then, obviously, but then we moved in together, got engaged. Things were great, and things are great. And then right now, we've been living in the same house for 7 years, been married or living in the same house for 6 years, married for 6 years. We did our wedding honeymoon and moving all within a 2-week period. So
nice.
It was pretty cool. But and the thing is, Mike, like I look, these two guys were at my wedding. I had 3 tables of AA people at my wedding.
Nice.
So it's like.
Yeah.
You look at like how
right by the bar. Did you see them right by the bar? Like put tables 12, 13, and 14 right by the bar.
Bill by
Let's
the bar.
See how strong they are.
Because I wanted it to be funny.
Yeah. And that was also towards the back.
Toward the back of the room.
Yeah, kind of by the bathroom.
Yeah, we're gonna keep Bill.
We're gonna keep Bill by the kitchen.
We're gonna keep you in concessions.
All right,
Bill listens.
Quick question.
Yeah.
How did you tell Haley that?
Yeah, right.
How did you share your story with Haley? How quick was it, and how was it received?
It was quick because I didn't want that to become an issue, right? But the good news was not with me asking, but the guy who I worked with, he was an engineer. He kind of like paved the way. He's stopped drinking and just things happen, whatever. So, and at the time, the breathalyzer wasn't in my car, so I was ready to go on dates.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's it. It was great. It was like he was bringing Haley over to my house. So he had the car. I didn't have the license. So it was great. So he was coming to my apartment that I was living in by myself. And Haley got to see, she got that. I was introduced to Haley, and she's like, got to see, another
You don't
proud
drink either.
stuff.
Well,
Right. And
she-
just like all the consequences will call.
She drove away, and she's like, "Oh, now I say why you hang out with Joe." It's like, because he's way worse than you are. Like, Haley,
Hey,
you're not just
smart.
pretty.
You're not just a pretty face.
You're not just pretty, Haley. You are smart.
Very intelligent.
Hey, how does she support your program today?
Ooh,
you know what?
That question.
She
Mikey
does.
coming
Look
out
at
swinging.
Mikey, man.
Well,
All right.
you know what? Like, I know there's some people where their spouses are like super involved and they go to all the events and stuff. And Haley, she knows the guys, right? She's been to Glenn's house, Joe's house. She's been to events. She loves everybody. Like, asks about people all the time. How are these guys doing? But that's kind of where it stays. Like, she's not asking me.
So she's not playing bags at the AA picnic?
No. She's like, that you do what you have to do to be
Good.
to stay sober.
Same as Nancy.
Yeah. And but she's super supportive,
Right,
super, like waking up in the morning and going to your meeting and like there's things that she has to do now that we have a 4-year-old. You know what I mean? Like, so
Parenting?
parenting, yeah, but like, yeah, exactly.
But you have to do that.
Joe, you should.
He's 4.
I've told Ryan.
He's
I'm
four.
like,
He's in-
I'm like
he's on his
Ryan.
own
The
now.
parenting's
I'm like,
overrated.
I said, Ryan, let's go hit a bucket of balls. He's like, well, I got Colin, and I'm like, well, I said, can't you leave him home for an hour? And I mean, it's only an hour.
He's pretty self-sufficient.
He
though,
is.
Mike.
I mean,
he can
put a
figure it out.
movie
Yeah.
on,
He can figure it out. Well, you know how it is these days.
Yeah.
Just put
Give
him
an
in
iPad.
front of a tablet, and then he's done.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
also I could do whatever I want to do. But the answer to your question is incredibly supportive.
Good. That's awesome.
That's part of it. And then, she over the years has been super supportive, and like she doesn't ever like. There's maybe a time or two. Do you ever really think about drinking? It's like, of course you think
Of
about
course you
it,
do.
but I don't have a desire. Right,
Right.
the obsession's not there any longer. You have the wouldn't it be nice moments, like you're on vacation. The wouldn't it be nice? Especially when you're like California, Florida is kind of where we alternate. And this past summer we had a nice trip out east. You have the wouldn't it be nice moments, but those are so fleeting.
Right.
And then you look at what's in front of you. And then when my son, like I said, he's 4. So when we had him, it's like you have these reasons that just keep you going, right? And then he's another reason that keeps you going, right? That like I don't want for him to ever see me drunk, right? And he's never, and God willing, will never. But I'm still convinced as a parent, like half the battle is showing up. But then when you show up, first of all, be sober, right? But like help out, right? Be there, like be engaged, be present, and that's kind of been what I've been taken out of this with my wife, with my son, is just trying to, like, these things come in different times in your program, and it's like exactly what you need at that time, right?
And and the funny thing is like you said, just by being sober, you are engaged.
Oh,
you are
More
present.
so. Sure.
And even there was so many times, I was there and I thought, well, I'm home. I don't go to the bar. I come home and might, drink 10 beers in the house, but you're
You're
there.
not there. You're not just
right.
at that point. You're
I'm
just
physically
a body.
there. That's
Right.
it.
Who's maybe a little
Emotionally,
goofy or angry.
Right.
One of the
exactly.
two.
Exactly. So, I mean, again, sobriety was the key thing there. And to add to that too, Haley's never seen you drunk.
Yeah, my wife hasn't either.
She's never seen you. She's never seen that side of you. Never seen the side of Ryan in handcuffs, and and all those.
Well, we don't know that.
All the proud moments,
Those kind of handcuffs, Joe.
Oh well. Well, again, that's that X-rated version. All right,
That's next week's episode.
Maybe that'll be next week's episode, right? We can. I know you better get the clearance from Haley. She may not be on board with that one.
I'm telling her she can't listen to the week number 2. Stay out of that.
Just
one.
stay out of that one.
Right.
It's off limits. Yeah, no, that's awesome, man. I love the fact that you've got your child that you can be present with right now. I kind of miss that with my kids. I was the guy Joe talked about. I was in the house. I was kind of funny, goofy dad at the time. But now I get to relive that with my grandkids.
Yeah.
And what a difference, just being present, kind of crawling behind their eyes, seeing life in their perspective. And I get to do that every day. It's incredible.
I get to. I love that part of it.
Yeah, 100%. And again, like I think a lot for us four, at least, we're all blessed to have a woman behind us. And, and again, my wife was my biggest supporter. Yeah. And, again, certainly frustrated, certainly very, some rough times, in the beginning. But, when I finally did get my shit together and start getting sober and getting serious about the program, there was nobody that supported me more than her, and nobody and again, I mean, I love her to death, and she's the main reason why I was able. I had to have something to fight for,
right?
And my family was worth fighting for.
One of the things that was nice being early in the program, like I saw where Joe started. Right, I saw when he was in that apartment that was not the best place, and at the time. Like, I was actually living with my aunt and uncle who had like kind of a separate apartment. Trust me, guys, it was great situation. I'm not. Yeah, Joe's been there. It was
beautiful.
I had a pretty
So an upgrade from the jail cell.
Yeah, it was like I didn't have it bad at all. But what was good for me to see is like I helped Joe move out of that apartment into back with his family, right? And then I helped.
That's huge.
And then I remember moving when you moved from the house that you were in before, and now to the house you're in now. Moving the stuff from that house to at the time your in-laws. Moved it there. He's dented my truck, but that was cool. It's like one of those things.
Allegedly,
what's cool, Mike, is after I got
moving the basketball net, right?
Yeah, he was nice.
This guy's
I'm like, you prick, dude. Like, look at this.
Hey.
It's a brand new truck.
And Joe, just pay his deductible today. Will you just pay it today?
Like when you have a truck, everybody asks for favors.
Oh, sure.
So you better believe after that I got rid of that truck. But it was funny. I got that truck like a couple of months after I got the breathalyzer out of that old car.
Right.
I just wanted to get rid of that old car.
Sure. Too many memories.
Yeah, but then after this prick dented it up, I'm like, all right, what? I'm going to get rid of this thing too. Now no one can ask me for favors.
Right.
But back to the thing is like you see these things coming true, right? Like
awesome?
you see like the promises, everything everybody told us has happened, right? Like if you just come back and stop drinking. You don't have to believe, right? You don't have to be all in.
Right.
Even though some people are like, you got to be all in right away. It's bullshit.
Right.
I would dare to say Joe and I weren't all in, right?
And I wasn't all in.
You're not here for the right reasons. Okay. First of all, like, what are the right reasons?
I love, and people get upset too when we laugh, Ryan. It's like, our joke is, it wasn't so bad. I can just say that to piss people off, and it works. Like
Joe,
my cousin, I mean, that shit just drives him crazy when we say that.
There were some good times.
He's like, oh yeah, they were great. I mean, and again, it's just
Who's
like
that, Tommy?
No, actually, Phil.
Phil.
He gets so upset about it.
Well, I think the thing is, like, you got to finish the story, right?
Right.
We'd be lying if we said we didn't have great times when we were drinking, but those great times turned to bad times, and then the bad times overwhelmed, and consequences started piling up. But seeing guys like Joe and all the things come back, and his family embracing him again, and and I remember one time, I don't know if you remember that, but we went over to to your house when you weren't living there and your kids were there, and one of your daughters called you Joe, and I'm like, damn. And now, like, it's different.
Well, and
you're there for them.
And again, unfortunately, some of like Mike and your daughters, Glenn. Ryan's lucky in a sense. Colin's never, God willing, is never going to see that side of him.
Yep.
Our children unfortunately did see it. I have an older one. That she's got memories, and again, they haunt her, and she's got PTSD from that shit, and
Still.
and again,
Still.
hell yeah.
So here's the thing. I have, I've got, over 10 years, and, it's taken a long time. With my daughters. I mean,
sure.
It was, I remember 4 years in, I was in church, I left my phone in the car, and I come out, and there's like, I was supposed to have lunch with my daughter at noon, and there's like, 30 texts, 30 messages, voicemails. And she's like, Dad, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah.
Are you still coming? Right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, honey, I'm sorry. Now I could be a dick and like, what the fuck you complaining about, man? I've been sober, man, all this time. What are you doing, man? I've showed up for 100%
But you
of
get
things.
it. You
But
get it.
I get
Where
it,
she's
man.
coming
from.
I'm like, honey, I'm so sorry.
She reverts right back
I'm like,
to that
I'm
old
like
time.
that was 4 years.
Right.
Right. And so now we were just in, the whole family's together in Greece, and I mean they're letting their guard down, right?
Yeah.
And I'm starting to see over 10 years ago, I'm starting to see snippets of how I really fucked their life up.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing. It just takes time.
And it's like and it's
And my
it's
daughter's
great
still
for you
going to a therapist over
Yeah,
it.
no, I mean it's great that you acknowledge
just
that.
cheer
Like
her
me,
on, man.
in my nature is I'm a minimizer. I'm like, oh, come on, it wasn't that bad, but bullshit, it was bad, and she, and she reminds me of that. No, the younger one never saw that. Thank God she doesn't have those memories. The older one does, and again, I mean,
But and this is the value I see. They've seen the hell, right? And so I think that helps them appreciate who we are today.
Right.
That's you're right. My
I think
oldest
it's the
daughter
contrast.
is, but I say Lisa, my wife is my biggest supporter, but my daughter Olivia is. There's nobody bigger supporter than
They
Olivia is in my
100% recognize.
she is
They know.
just so proud of everything I've done, and and again she knows the journey, and you're right, and they do really appreciate the people we are today, and again, if nothing else, our kids are growing up. I hope that they see that that this could be a problem. Try to
Right.
I mean, again, it's genetic.
Yeah, they are part of me.
Yeah, that's we've got to and I get scared to death because they're starting to drink. My kids,
Right.
They're at that age now. They're just starting to experiment. And
So
I'm
is
like,
Ryan's. Ryan's kids are starting to drink now.
I mean, like
Smoking,
I said,
Mike.
Smoking.
smoking and
It always
drinking. They go hand in hand.
starts with the smoking.
Yeah,
He's
right.
smoking, but we're going to get him to vapes, so it's okay.
Good.
Gateway drug.
The gateway, right?
Yeah.
Right. And, hey, weed is legal now, so I don't see the big deal. But,
Yeah. Well,
Not for 4-year-olds, Joe. I don't know if you know the law, but not for 4-year-olds.
I don't know the law.
Joe,
That's-
just don't start busting California sober, okay?
Yeah. Right. That'll be another. We'll do that on another episode.
We'll lose half our listeners. All 5 of them.
In Bangladesh.
speaking of that, we got to do another episode.
All right, brother.
We got to come back next week.
We got to pay the bills.
Let's
huh?
carry. Yeah, let's carry on.
All right, man.
It's been
All right, man.
fun,
See you
guys.
next
Love you
week.
guys.
One more
Thank
week.
you for jumping.
Well, one more
Sounds-
week.
Thanks for
Well, I'll
summer
have one more.
Summer series.
All right.
I like it. Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for joining us for today's coffee chat. To contact the show, email us at podcast@sober.coffee. If you need immediate help, the AA hotline is 800-839-1686. The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 800-273-8255. Remember, Mike and Glenn are sharing their own journey on the path to recovery. Any suggestions, medical or otherwise, are their own experiences and should not be viewed as professional advice. See you next week, and remember, there is a solution.